Hi, I'm Jennifer Lane Ramsey, and I did want to talk a little bit to you today about online instruction and how I take applied learning theory and use that in an online model. I get asked this question a lot when I'm interacting with educators because I think there's a common concept out there that online learning is subpar to the classroom because most of us grew up in the classroom and we didn't do everything online the way it's done now. Or if we took online classes, they were constructed in such a way that it was either self-paced completely and it was kind of read this, write this, answer these questions, and it was really boring. So when you are really committed to active learning theory, which I am, and I have a video that outlines that if you're interested in the classroom, or you may have watched that, now you want to see this one, um, I'll put a link to that below. But one of the challenges I had to overcome when I first started teaching online about 5 years ago, and I was a course designer for my department, so I did about 14 courses over the course of 5 years, actually over the course of three. But anyway, I had to figure out how to take that concept of active learning that was so effective for my learners and so important to me and embed that into the online format of instruction. That modality has some challenges sometimes. And so I had a process where at first I was kind of translating things from one environment to the next. And then that process evolved. And I started realizing that I was selling my students short because a lot of times I would put something in my course shelf for online learning that was just a basic level activity, like read this chapter, answer these questions, write me something about it, where the students in class were maybe building a model of that theory instead of reading about it. And it finally occurred to me that, well, my students at home could build a model and take a picture of it. What was really so different? And through a lot of the newer things that have come out, either in our learning management system, we use Blackboard where I'm at, but it's true in others, or through some of the apps that are free and available to most people, you can actually have a lot of interaction. The challenge is really getting everyone who's an online learner in the same place at the same time. And some courses are set up for synchronous instruction and others aren't. So most of them are not, because our students that need that online class are asynchronous, meaning they are not able to all be in class at the same time. So we use a lot of things like this, or we record a video and then we take turns watching it and commenting on it, or we use a wiki where they can work together, but in their own time. And I have to build the same concepts of interactivity and interconnectivity that I do in the seated classroom. So they need to bond to me, but I also really make sure that I have instructional activities early on that make them bond to each other. So they might post a video, an all about me video in a media class and talk about all of the different kinds of movies they like. And then they comment on each other's things in common. Or we might do a scavenger hunt like you would do in a seated class, where find 5 people in class who share this interest with you, and then they have to get on the discussion boards. And yeah, they're posting and they're using a tool that they might use frequently in other online classes, but they're using it in a way that's engaging and fun and exciting. We've done scavenger hunts where we've had meetups, we've had coffee shops meetups that are, if you can make it, great. I might give you bonus points. If not, you can do something else. And usually they will voluntarily come to those things, and it's been really exciting. I use Collaborate, which is a Blackboard open lecture system, and I try as much as I can to get them on, whether it's conference calls and things like that, so that they're interacting. But my main job is really to connect them to each other, because that helps them work together. It helps them create that same kind of community where they cheer each other on and they get going. And then I have found ways. There's almost always a way to take an activity I would do in the classroom, and through using a camera and taking a picture of the product, they can still do that activity at home. So increasingly, I've moved away from writing about things, reading about things only, and having them doing the same kinds of active learning things that they would do in any other format. And it's on their own time, and then they take pictures of it or whatever. And sometimes they'll even get together. I always leave that option. If you want to get together and do something together, in a lot of my activities, they'll find each other and make it work if they're local. And I've even had students cross states and state lines and interact on their own. So it's been really fun. And I really believe, actually, in some cases, that the online platform can be stronger than the seated platform, depending on what you're teaching. We're finding this to be especially true in our media literacy program, where our students can do more online and through media use on their own than they really can when we're stuck in a classroom. So it actually can be a strength and not a harder way to teach. It does involve teaching. A lot of online instructors I know from supervising. I'm also a department chair that I hire a lot of adjuncts and a lot of instructors that have to learn that in our department anyway, online teaching is not just loading in your course shell, checking email occasionally, answering questions, and grading. We give you a course shell in my department. We do let them edit it some, but that's done for you. What we're paying people for, and what I believe is a department chair that I want you doing, is getting in there, getting in the mix, interacting with those students, digging in, getting to know them, having fun with them, and really guiding them through the activities like a mentor or a coach would. And so, and lots of time and feedback, which often has to be written when you're online. So, or you have to record a video like this to give them a special set of instructions. So that's the kind of teaching, and that's what the online classroom looks like for me. And that's how course design works for me in the online setting. Have a great day, and hope to be talking to you soon. Bye.